สเมสก็คิววอซอนบีบิวที่ไกนี่ฮาร์ลาบาไลเทียโจวาโอ
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Let's Talk Toys, but this one's just a little bit different, because tonight, I'm not by myself. I am joined by one of my favoriteest people in the whole wide world, one of the, I believe he has been dubbed the Toy Scholar, Mr. Dan Larson of Toy Galaxy. Hi, Dan.
I'll take that. That's fine. I'll run with that. That's good.
Right on. Welcome back, dude. It's been a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's great, man. Real big quick shout out to the COJ already chiming off in the chat, coming in droves. Welcome, everybody. So tonight we're gonna be talking some indie toy news, but we're also gonna be talking about our top 5 acquisitions. And as Dan and I discussed, this isn't new product. This is stuff that we acquired throughout the year that might have been grails, might have been, I hate the term grails, but something that we had been looking for, or something that we just got super excited about finding at a show. Yeah, so we're gonna be running through those, going through a couple cool indie Kickstarters, and diving into that a little bit more. What up, Luis? How's it going, bud? Chris, Boocat, Jesus Christ, they're going off. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Dan, real quick, in case somehow people don't know who you are, I want to throw it over to you real quick so you can do your intro and let people know who you are, what you do, man.
Writer, host, Secret Galaxy, been doing it for a long time. More importantly, just lifelong toy collector. I'm approaching. Yeah, I'm approaching. I'm going to be 50 in 4 months, so that's half a century of collecting stuff.
That's wild, man. Dude, I feel bad. I instinctually say Toy Galaxy still. I know it's Secret Galaxy.
I'm still Toy Galaxy on Instagram.
Yeah.
My email address is still Toy Galaxy. In fact, one of the things that bugs me is like you can't change your Patreon.
Yeah, it's just
so our Patreon, every single video we produce every single week is patreon.com/Toy Galaxy. And I gotta wonder, like, there's lots of people. We have lots of subscribers that have come along since we changed the name officially from Toy Galaxy to Secret Galaxy, and they just have to be like, what is Toy Galaxy? Why are you calling it Toy Galaxy? What a weird thing to do.
What's Dan in the photo booth?
Yeah, all that.
But yeah, man, so I don't know, I do kind of want to throw it over to you. I know you were able to hit a bunch of shows this year, get some adventures out there. I want to throw it over to you so you get a chance to talk about that.
2025 was absolutely ridiculous. Did we? I feel like a jerk right now saying this, but did I even see you at any shows?
We were at the Toy Tubers Unite event.
Yeah. All right. Comic-Con.
Hey, at Comic-Con, like that was it. Like it was so quick.
I'm terrible at like planning stuff, right? Like, like right now my wife is like, what are we gonna do in 2026? What are we gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. Like, if you want to make plans, you're gonna have to make those plans. Like, I like to keep things open. Who knows what could happen? Who knows what could come up? But last year it just seemed like perfect. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Phantom.
Last year it just seemed like everything lined up, and I had something going on every couple of weeks, some major thing going on. In January, I was in Germany for Toy Fair. In February, I was in New York for Toy Fair. In April, I went to Japan for Star Wars Celebration. And then there was like Shop the Curiosity. There was San Diego Comic-Con. There was Retro World Expo. Just like, it just seemed like the hits just kept coming. In the meantime, during the summer, we went ahead and shot, we took 2 weeks and shot our Halloween special. Our little short film that came out on Halloween, and then all the while just keep doing our regular production every week. It was a very, very full, very, very busy year.
I was gonna say, but like that was the thing that like okay, you know me, I'm still on the comic grind, so like I did 27 shows this year. And granted, some of those were like one-day shows, like local shows and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, you know, it's a little different. But
You
like,
still gotta set up and take down
oh
and
yeah,
prepare and carry all your merch around and
it's a lot. But you know, it was one of those things that it was so fun to see, like, seeing you get around to shows and getting out there more. And because I know you have a comics background.
Yeah.
But you know, it's that thing of like, Darren's getting out there again. Woo! Like,
Hey, look, I'm willing to go wherever. And it's anybody who's listening right now, anybody who's watching right now, I'm willing to go anywhere. I just needed to get invited. Like
right.
I'm not in the position and our production's not in the position where I'm not going to set up like a bunch of shows and get tables and do all
Yeah.
that. It's like, if people want to have me at a guest at a show and want to invite me and do all that, I'm happy to try to work that into my schedule. You know, for 2026, my first show's coming up here. I'll be at ZoloCon. It's like it's that weekend, it's the last weekend in February that kind of crosses over into the first weekend in March.
Yep.
And so I think that's in Pennsylvania, and that's my first time at that show. So I'm looking forward to being at and then I'll be at AwesomeCon, which I think is like 2 weeks after that in March.
In DC.
In DC. Yeah. So I'll be at it, but I'm not like a guest or anything. I'm just like gonna be walking around, hanging out. And
dude, I've heard nothing but awesome stuff about AwesomeCon. No,
I've been to it before. Again, just as an attendee, just walking around, and yeah, it's a big show.
Yeah, next week I start off. I'll be at Central Florida Comic Con down in Lakeland, Florida.
Nice.
And same weekend as ZoloCon, unfortunately.
Right.
I will be up in Fargo for FM Comic Con. But I'm very excited. This year will mark the first year I actually get to go to Legion's Con in November.
Nice.
So I'm very, very excited for that. I'm trying to make something happen out there that might be a very bad decision for a good cause, but we'll see.
Right.
Let's see if I can make it happen.
As long as nobody gets hurt.
it'll be an adventure. Trying to go through the proper channels and everything. Though,
yeah. It's a great show. I've been 3 times now, and it's I'm not as big into the customizing scene. Obviously, it's something that you are very deeply into. And by the way, your custom figure of yourself is just awesome. It's so good.
It's a fun piece.
Yeah. I love the animated style of it. It's really, really great. I haven't really followed where you sort of sourced the pieces from or how it's actually assembled. But
so the cool thing is my good friend Alex, Fan Plastic 4, and I we got these all sculpted up. I paint them up. They're available during the marathon streams. If you would like one, I can send you one.
That's awesome.
But they're fun and goofy, and like it's been so fun to like I have a shelf of friends over there. Like I have the Secret Galaxy Trooper, you know, like I have the
Robo,
Robo, the Sentinels over there. I use Odious to represent Wade just because Pixel Dan.
It basically is. Yeah.
Dan has a literal toy. He has a Major Bendy.
Oh yeah. I have mine's right over here in a box. Yeah.
Dude,
I'm not gonna put him on my shelf. He's in a box.
Dude, the funny thing is so I've been customizing chunks of them for him. So there is a Zardan.
Nice.
I did a Pixel Dan variation. I switched the logo. There's one that I can't talk about yet. I'm trying to remember what else I sent him. There was one other one. So there's going to be 4 variants in total of just like short run. Just, hey, bring these to shows. Have fun with them.
That's great.
Just because I don't know, I love that stuff. So
hey, look, I'm looking for. Speaking of seeing you at shows, I'm really looking forward to PowerCon.
Oh, dude,
it was just both years that I was able to go when it was in Columbus was just a really, really just a great show. The second year, especially because it was just so much bigger.
Heck yeah! What the crap? All right, Twitch, COJ. I guess take care of that. I don't know what's going on. Random comments. Anyways. PowerCon. Well, there's so many toy shows this year. It's nuts. I managed to not get to any of them. But I don't know. Have you ever been to Kane County?
No, but that is one that's sort of on our list for this year. Let's see if we can get out to that this year.
It's super friggin' fun. I always recommend the spring one.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a little bit bigger. It takes up a little bit more space, a little bit crazier. Wait, what? I'm not oh my god. Moderation's fun. Good times. And of course, I don't think Mitch is on tonight, so I can't really do anything. Good times. Anyways, Yeah. So I guess with that being said, like, what is like what was your first query that you got?
So what I decided to go with is 5 things that I picked up in 2025 that aren't related to my actual like top 10 of the year or anything. So these aren't necessarily figures that came out in 2025.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
weren't necessarily released in 25. In fact, many of them are one of one that nobody else can own. So
yeah,
those
yeah.
are special. So my number 5 here, we'll go in reverse order from 5 to 1, or that's the appropriate order. This is silly because I already had one of these figures, and so for this year I just added 2 more. You must have at this point, you must have some kind of Joy Toy figure in your
Yeah,
collection.
man. They're
And
real
so
good.
I already had one of these, and I'm not a Warhammer fan. I'm not. I have
It's
a
a
bunch of
cool
Joy
toy.
Toy figures. I have my mech is back here on this second shelf right behind me. But when I saw this Boba Fett paint
Yeah,
scheme,
had to
uh,
go for it.
yeah, I was like, I got to get at least one. And then Amazon had them super cheap. And I
Yeah,
already army build Boba Fett related stuff. So I was like, well, I can grab another one. And then they kept them cheap. And I was like, well, he comes with 3 weapons. I might as
yeah.
well have like,
Swap
a
them over
team
and
of
yeah.
3, a squad of 3 that's each specialized. So, so I have this is the guy with the I don't know what it's called, saw
Chain
blade,
sword, I think.
chain
Saw sword,
sword.
something like
This
that.
is the guy with the actual
Big one.
rifle. And then this is the guy with because I have more than one of these, he can dual wield pistols.
Yeah.
So
They
so
come
yeah,
stacked, man. Like it's just it's really cool. Like yeah, and they're posable and they're
they're
awesome
so
looking.
posable. Even these chunky dudes, like there's so much articulation and posability in them. And
Yeah,
yeah, so this is and when you talk about like your favorite things that you pick up in a year, like these guys have been on my desk the
yeah,
entire time since I've had them. And they're just so much fun. And it's really the kind of toy that reminds you of why you like action figures. You like the way they look, you like the way they handle, and they're just fun, and they make you happy.
for sure. Much, much same similar vein. Let's go from there. This is something that I picked up. It was floating around eBay over the last couple years. Um, over the last couple years, some things have popped up from a long dead toy line. And it is something that I love. It was a series that I've loved watching with my kids. But it is Gizmo Duck,
Weird thing, right? Like
right?
those just turned up.
Well, and the crazy thing is, not only did it turn up, like, so I think it was 2 years ago, I got Fenton, who was
Nice.
supposed to come with it. And Fenton is much smaller than all the other figures, but it was made to
Yep.
fit in the cavity, a la the Bruce Banner and Hulk figure. So you just kind of slam it in there, and then you have Gizmo Duck. It can't stand for shit,
Yeah.
but I loved this series. It was just a blast, and like again, my kids got super into it, so I was very stoked to grab Gizmo. And I also, my buddy Joe, shout out to the Mythic Merc up in Duluth. He randomly had Scrooge's money bin just chilling in package up there on the cheap. So I got that. I have a nice DuckTales display over there
Nice.
now. And yeah, Gizmo Duck. Gizmo Duck is starting out my number 5. So had to go with
Yeah, it
that.
was so close to being one of those things where it's like this weird lost toy, that like,
Yeah,
no, I saw one. The guy had a prototype. It was a production sample.
yeah.
Like,
Well, and then it was everywhere. It was the same thing with Fenton. Like Fenton popped up, was everywhere. Now you can find like one for like $50. I think when I
yeah,
got him, he was
yeah.
10 shipped. Like it was the same thing with Gizmo Duck. I think he was down to like 30-ish. But like they had a Della Duck, they had her plane, they had all this other stuff that I was so stoked about. And I was like, oh, that would have been so cool to come out, but who knows? Maybe someday it'll just randomly pop up.
The Gizmo Duck, those weren't in package, right? It was just sort of loose.
No, they were all polybagged.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I think they were in production and never made it to. I think the plug was pulled by Fat Mojo randomly, but
Are they still
yeah,
around? Does it
yes,
exist anymore?
technically, like I don't know what they produce anymore, but the website was still up. So
Nice.
I don't know. What's your number 4, man?
Number 4, this is probably another line that you've got some samples of here. I don't have a lot from this yet because it's such a new line, and there's so many really great middle level, sort of toy lines, like not Hasbro, not Mattel, not the big
Yeah.
corporation ones, not the little tiny guys, but the Big Bad Workshop and Fresh Monkey Fiction,
Oh, dude.
Monster Force. This is the what are we calling him? Sleepwalker Obsidian Elite Guardsman
Damn.
was one.
That
So
name.
the figures are so smooth. They're so nice. The joints are so good. All the details, the paint, the sculpt,
Dude.
these crazy science fiction, like 1940s kind of 30s weapons and stuff. I got a little shelf that I'm starting to build over here of Monster Force stuff. And the only reason I don't have more is because of things like G.I. Joe and Mythic Legions and stuff, where it's
But
just
they
taking all my
complement
money.
each other so well. Like, that's what I love. Like, I mean, and the crazy thing is, so like, Monster Force will be popping up in another countdown video on this channel. I'll just say that. It's fun because actually, if you get the chance, there is a they have a podcast where they talk with their kind of their writer, their lore master every so often. They've had creators on there. Absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Mike and the crew over there. And if you love the line, like, it's a really fun listen. Blake from Toy Collector was actually just on two weeks ago. So
yeah, it's tough, like, because figures are starting to push 30, 35, 40 bucks on the regular. You got to be a little bit more selective about what you're getting. And I know, as someone who bought like 3 Supermans and like 2 Captain Americas and whatever, obviously there's some redundancies in the things I've purchased. But Monster Force is one of those lines where it's like, oh, okay, like, this guy is
it's unique.
Well, it's literally the exact same figure as the other guy, who is just a slightly different, different colors.
Yep.
And it comes with all the same accessories and stuff. And it's like, oh man, do I really want to drop 30, 40 bucks? I can't remember exactly how much they are on what is essentially almost exactly the same figure, or do I want to buy something else that's a little bit more unique?
I think my love of that line comes from the random shit, like the General. Like, I think it's General Brown, where it has 3 different heads. So you have Joe Colton, you have Ross, and like it's just like the ability of that, the random suited agents, like the stuff of being able to build out a bunch of like these random displays where it's like, hey, you want a guy in a suit? Yeah. What if it comes with demon parts? Okay.
Right. But then that's why I sort of go like, oh, okay, like I bought General Brown, I bought the demon guy. Well, okay, well now the Detective Chimp guy or whatever his name is.
Yeah, dude.
Like, and it's like, I already own this figure, 85% of it. It's like, how much am I willing to spend to get that other head, hands, feet, whatever. And that comes up with a lot of lines. yeah, right. It's hard to say no.
Dude, and but again, I think that's been the thing for me, is like there's so much fun out there. And that kind of going same vibe as you. I was very lucky. Ricky from Plunderlings hooked up something that I've never had, because unfortunately with the original Kickstarter I had a snafu with my card. But I was able, I've already taken them out a couple times to do some photos, but Swamp and Bubbler from the original, the Drench. I love Plunderlings. I've been posting up a crap ton of photos. Those beaks have been awesome, but so transparent green and transparent blue plastic, man.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah.
And I have like a Drench army that I'm literally building around. Like, I have a Playmobil ship. And so I saw your video
on the build there. Yep.
Yeah. So I have them kind of crawling up the side of the ship like it's the water, because I was like, that's kind of fun.
You have the green Plunder Strong.
Typhoon.
Yeah, Typhoon. Yeah.
My goodness, that figure is so fun. I have stepped on that Mohawk so many times.
Nice. Yeah, if I had only one complaint about the whole Plunder system, it's that sometimes the magnets aren't strong enough. Like the Plunder beaks that I just got, I'm like, oh man, I just wish that magnet was just a little bit stronger of a bond. I can throw some putty or something in there, keep it on, and still maintain the ability to keep it modular. But the magnet system is so great. I just
Oh,
wish it had a little
just a
more
little more
grab.
my beaks are all flying over there. I have them up on top of cabinets and like suspended. Just
And that was the same thing. Like when those went up and they were in stock, right? And
Yep.
so we're not doing a Kickstarter, we're not doing pre-orders.
Oh
They
yeah,
were in stock, but there was 3 of them and they were $30 a piece or whatever. And that's
Yep.
fine. They got to price them the way they got to price them. And I don't have a problem with that. But I was like, I can't drop $90 right now
yeah,
tonight, you know? So I was like, I'm going to get 2. I'll grab the 3rd one at some point.
yeah, dude. And with Plunderlings and the Lone Coconut stuff, you see it come back in and everything. And it's such a cool world. And I know I've gotten to work on some stuff. I don't know when that's coming out, but like Ricky has such a cool world in his head that he's built all these creatures and characters with, and it's just been so damn fun.
Absolutely. Love everything those guys are doing, and they have one of the most fun displays at at shows.
That the wing setup on those, I'm like, hey,
oh yeah,
Hasbro,
yeah,
like come on, man, like man, yeah.
What takes me back, they've got that ball and socket system that reminds me of Zevos back in the day.
Yeah, dude, Zevo, a little bit of a little like Glyos love almost, like with some of the articulation and stuff. I mean, it's just it's just fun again, like finding
it really is. And you know, I mentioned on one of our I think our 2 streams ago, I was talking about those because I had just gotten them as my pickups for that week, and I was talking about the fact that when you see those guys at shows and they have their whole setup and everything, you see people our age messing around with them, and then you see little kids messing around with them too. And it's really amazing that they were able to create something that had that broad appeal.
Dude, seeing Ollie and my boys, they come down and they're always grabbing them. I'm like, the cool thing is I'm not worried if they grab them. Like I know they're gonna play with them and they can withstand that.
Oh yeah,
and like that's amazing.
Worst case scenarios, you might lose a mohawk.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, my feet find it every time. Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. There's no shortage of plunder love here. Oh shit, Mitch is over on YouTube. What up, Mitch?
Chopping it up.
Yeah, man. But yeah. All right. So what is your number 3?
Number 3 for me, we're gonna get into custom territory here. But we're going to keep talking about the indies. We're going to keep talking about the little guys. Spiro's Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, just absolutely one of my favorite lines. Very eagerly anticipating their next batch of figures. Wave 3, I think it is. Wave 4, whatever it is. The birds and all that stuff showing up. But in the meantime, you know, there's plenty of stuff in their current lines that you can play with and have some fun with. And so when I went to Legions Con in 2024, Josh Brown Customs had some heads that are still for sale on his website if you want to pick them up, that I had grabbed and used them on extra bodies that I had for Animal Warriors the Kingdoms figures. So this is a custom head.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is a custom head on basically just a stock Animal Warriors of the Kingdom body. I gave it to I sent it out to my painter, who's a friend of mine, Rich Borges, to match the color. So I sent him the body to say, do your best, you know, get as close to this as you can to match that. And so it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like it still feels like it fits the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom style and mythology and all that. But, you know, I've got a unique character of my own. And then this was another head where it's the full on lion, kind of like, you know, they have their Atreyu character. And this is sort of him. This is like old man, you know,
he's all grown up.
Atreyu. Yeah, exactly. Sent him the body, had him, you know, paint match it, color match it as good as he could, and then slapped it on the body. And it's like, all right, you know, is this his dad? Is this his grandfather? Is this him in the future? Like, there's just so much potential there within the line. Like if you're just buying the figures, they're designed to swap armor and do all that stuff. They have like extra army builder bodies and armor kits and alternate heads and stuff. So
I think this is the first year I haven't, or like 2025, I didn't buy any AWOC, and I'm just like, oh no. Like,
no, I think their last because I want to say at Legions Con this past year in 2025, I want to say they had some samples, some production pieces of their latest wave, and then I know 2 Legions Cons ago they had just gotten in a couple of figures as well, because when they actually came to our convention SGX in October and had some of those. And I was like, I was hoping when they set up that they were going to have that next wave of figures and I was going to buy them. And after the show, I was like, wait, did you guys even bring those? And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we had some, but they sold out real quick. And I was like,
Boom.
you were at my show. I'm in line first.
Whoops, whoopsie doopsie. Man, dude, and that line is so fun. The funny thing is, I'm seeing people discover.
Somebody's asking about the Boba set. Yes.
Oh, there we go. Is it 560?
No, well, 575 was before Christmas.
Damn.
Christmas added 4 more. Shelby Coulter sent me 2 more, so that's 6 more. So we're at least at 581.
Wow, that's
yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, still moving
bit by bit. Man, okay. I gotta throw it up there. So I'm gonna be doing a custom thing because I
do it.
I buy a lot of makers stuff. I'll throw an honorary mention of Acquisition because it's going to be on the top 5 customs. I got Leopardon from One Oak Customs, not the life-size one. He's still like 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's gigantic, and I have a whole shelf over there that's nothing but like Spider-Man and 70s Marvel. That I don't know. I'm a sucker. Like I'm like, we got a Hammond Spidey legend plus like Spider-Man was already out.
Absolutely ridiculous. That if you'd have told me 10 years ago, 20 years ago that we'd get a Toei Spider-Man and a Nick Hammond Spider-Man, ridiculous. Amazing.
Yeah, they're astounding. Man. Well, I guess it's never mind. There we go. So I'll pop that up. Come on, focus. No, not gonna do it. Let's do that. Maybe. There we go.
So good.
So he's large, and then the Marvelers down there.
You got the Ferrigno Hulk and the live action cap.
Red brown cap with a transparent shield. I used to check
like a helmet.
Yeah, nice big dome. Yeah. Man, okay, next up, I actually got to give a shout out to Bunny, my buddy Rob. This was something that I totally missed. I have a love of the Crow movie. I don't really do mezcos, but I hemmed and hawed far too long on this one. And he literally just gave a shout one day and he's like, hey man, I got something for you. Nice. And I was like, what? Because yeah, I have a love of this movie and the comic series, but the movie hit. That was my angsty teen movie. I'll fully admit that. Like
that was my senior year of high school into freshman year of college, and it was everywhere. Oh, everybody was into it.
So like I feel like I caught it on VHS, like I caught it on tape because like I remember going to there's a place out here called Axeman, which is a surplus store, and they had mystery blacklight posters, and I got a 2-pack, one of The Crow. That's like flocked like Robo gags seeing you're touching it, but the other one was Mace the Rapper with the cash symbol as the S. Choice
nice.
That, but
nice. Well, I was going to ask how many. Do you remember how many potential posters there were in the blind box?
I don't. My guess is there was probably only those 2 because that's kind of how they'd roll. They'd be like totally a blind box, 100% chance you won't know what the hell you're getting. There's only 2, and they came rolled together. So it's like, all right. So that Crow poster actually still hangs out in the 3rd stall garage.
Nice. I was going to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in terrible shape, but it I don't know, holds a special place in my heart. Shout out to Rob /Bunny /Maltov Folktales. But
that's great.
All right, you're up, boss.
Number 2 was an interesting year for customs that people did that sort of surprised me with. Didn't know they were working on them. Actually, that's not true. 2 of them I knew because I saw his video. When I stopped into Legion's Con this past year, Sawyer Don, I believe is his name on Instagram. He had done a custom of my original character Darkhawk. From that I created when I was like 12 years old and in 7th grade, and this is cloth suit, just a little mezco style version of the character, and then he even put like a little wired cape for him, and awesome. it's just really it's always nice when people give you things unsolicited, but to take the time and to put together a custom action figure of your original character that I don't talk about it that much. It's out there, people know about it. It's really an incredible gift. And then Alpha Magnus Customs, he had done a live stream where he showed himself working on the same character, Darkhawk. And so, this is a nice Marvel Legends. And in fact, I think they're both technically the same body
awesome.
with the different approach to it. He used different boots and different hands and stuff. And so he even has alt hands and different weapons and a Uzi. He's got his little sai tucked into his belt. And then Alpha Magnus took it one step further. And he also delivered a sort of steampunk Buccaneer Darkhawk
that's awesome.
Doesn't exist. Like, I had never done anything like this. He actually has a lightsaber hand. This is so you can put a lightsaber blade on the hook hand there.
That's awesome.
And it's I laughed because I was like, Alpha Magnus, you've done more with this character in these two customs than I have in 35 years. So
that's awesome.
But it's really great. It's a lot of fun. And again, it's just an incredibly generous thing for people to have spent their time, not to just make you something, but to make something out of a character that I made when I was, like I said, 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
It's just an incredibly thoughtful gift.
I just saw Mixie comment. I have a Spider-Man custom he did from the Spider-Verse that I have. It's back on my Spidey shelf that I've had forever. I think he included in a fodder bin. But I was just like, thanks, man. Like, I was stoked for it.
Winter Star, that's a Marauder katana.
Nice.
I swear by the Marauder katanas. They're gold. They've got gold and silver versions. All my Snake Eyes are holding them. All my Storm Shadows are holding them. Anybody who needs a katana gets a Marauder katana. I buy them in bulk.
I think
they're so good.
I think I have a Leo katana on my Snake Eyes. I only have the one Snake Eyes now, but I don't know. It was a NECA one that was like really, I don't know. It fit perfectly.
Yeah. I don't think I can reach it from here. I have actually no. No, he doesn't have Marauder because I ran out of Marauder katanas. I need to place another order.
It's like new bulk order.
And they're not even that expensive. They're like a couple of bucks, and you get the katana and the wakizashi.
And they're gold.
They're super nicely painted. They look fantastic. They're so good.
Yeah. So my final two have a bit of a theme, but so when my brother,
that's my number two. That's my number two, just to be clear, was all the Darkhawks. So go ahead.
My number two is something that I never thought I'd own because it was one of those things that was announced, came out, and I never saw it go for sale or anything. But I managed to get it on the secondary market really cheap. And it was one of those where I'm like, I have to try because it was worth a shot. But this was part of my brother helping me fall in love with anime.
Woof.
But the Neon Genesis Evangelion Eva 01, this was the Dynaction figure. I saw like the fucking stand is ridiculous, but also really shitty. Because as you can see, it's just like there's no plug or screw.
Yeah.
But like the engineering on this thing, I'm going to unplug him because that actually plugs in and it's a posable cable. But
wired,
when my brother went to college, he came back and he was like, David, I have discovered this new series, and I watched it entirely too young.
Have you ever heard of?
Yeah, but like this would have been like 2000, I think. So I was in 6th grade, I think. 7th grade.
Okay. So maybe you hadn't actually heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hadn't. Like I might have seen it at Suncoast, but like everything is jointed, like for articulation and stuff, and it was one of those like I don't know. It came out and like this is obvious. This is from the newer Redux movies, but like again.
So is that that figure's not from 2000?
No. This figure I think
say.
came out 2017.
Okay,
I want to say because it's the part of the re-release, but it was one of those that I was like, I am a scale nerd, so it's rebuild. Thank you, Mitch. So it was that thing of the idea of having a robot that's large. I like robots.
Mhm.
And having one that's this posable is super, super fun. And I I don't buy a lot of anime figures or whatnot. Like I have certain series that I really like, but this was one that when they announced it, I'm like, oh, like a gigantic version of that design would be so cool.
Hey, one of the rules I have self-imposed on my collecting habits to try to try to protect myself and my wallet
Yeah.
is seek ideal versions.
Yep.
And if I can get an ideal version of something, it tends to sort of keep me from buying additional versions,
Yep.
right? Because you're always trying to find that, like, what is the best thing, most articulated, most accurate. And I think, especially for a figure of a character that is supposed to be big,
Yeah.
that really makes sense. Like that I think, since you're not like a huge Ava guy,
Yeah.
you wouldn't like be like, oh, now I got to get a 6-inch version. Now I got to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
now I got to,
Well, and I had one of the Kyoto, I think, versions back in the day
Mhm.
that was like permanently crouched and the plastic was super janky. That
Is that
definitely
the
just
Reveltech ones?
yeah, no, it wasn't even the Reveltech.
Oh, no?
It was all like plug and play. It was technically Rotocast.
Okay.
Like, and I remember saving up and going to Suncoast with my brother to get I got '01, he got the prototype and '04, the one that goes
Mhm.
crazy,
Yeah.
in the original. Spoilers for a 30-year-old
Spoilers.
anime. Uh, but yeah, it was one of those that I had that and it just deteriorated into a pile of parts and I didn't know how to fix it at the time. So it was one of those things of like, okay, and I got on a kick of building these Mechatro We Go models, and there was an Ava '01 homage kit, and I was like, man,
Hmm.
I wanna get that figure. And there was a local shop that had a bunch of those old ones in box, and they were like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
$20. And I was like, I remember seeing those. I'm gonna go back and grab that. And they only had a completely transparent '01 left. And I was like,
Yeah,
nope. I like
yeah.
transparent plastic, but
Yeah.
I know that's gonna turn into a pile of sugar.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
But yeah, and then again, I started looking around, and I don't think someone knew what that was because they had it up as giant Ava '01, and I like it came in box and everything. Like
Hmm.
it was nuts, and I don't know. I know the story's like fucked up, but like it's just one of my favorite robot
Yeah,
designs.
yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
But can't go wrong with giant robots.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your number one, man?
Number one, it's funny because you put it in the thumbnail image for this video, for
Oh,
this
geez,
live stream.
sorry.
It's the no, it's all good. It's the you didn't know.
Yeah, it's so
It's the
good.
kit. It's the Josh Brown Customs collab kit for Secret Galaxian. This obviously is two different Legions figures. Tusk Pilot Cosmic Legions figure, and then the first batch of the
Skelly.
skeletons. Um,
There he
and
is.
then same thing. I had my painter. I sent the kit out to him and said, if you can match that bone color, that would be
Yeah,
great. And then yeah, he's got the laser tag guns. This is the early version of the key. Where it's actually the key is shorter. The ones that we actually
a
that
little
Josh
bit longer.
mass produced, they're a little bit longer. But absolutely just so happy to have this in hand. It's one of those projects that, like, I didn't know this was going to be a thing, but Josh was obviously working on various YouTuber sort of, logos and homage figures and that kind of thing. And he like had done 65% of the work on this and was like, hey, would this be something you're interested in? I was like, yeah, of
There you
course
go.
I am.
Uh,
Uh,
dude, it's so good. So the funny thing is, I have technically two of that head because someone sent me one, and there was no address, no note or anything. I'm like, am I supposed to paint this? Am I supposed to not?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I had painted one up, and I have it literally sitting over here on the shelf, hoping someone will eventually like be like,
Someday.
hey, hey, because it wasn't Josh. Like I bought one
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Josh, and I
yeah.
painted that kit up, and so like I have the unpainted on there right now because I'm just like, I don't know what to do. But I too have a bonehead of beanie that actually shout out to Josh Brown again because he also was very generous with all the sales for that. He donated it to Extra Life, which was
Awesome.
super dope. I never thought a jawless beanie wearing skeleton would make a difference. Uh, so shout out to Josh Brown. That rules so hard.
He just threw up those Mega Man heads. I don't know if you saw those.
Yeah, sure did. Sure did.
Those look
Friggin-
really good. The only thing that stopped me from buying them is like, I don't have the Ox Crew bodies, and I don't want to.
yeah.
I don't want to
Dude.
buy the Ox Crew bodies just to make like battle Mega Man
More-
homage figures.
Yeah. The Josh says shout out to you all for saying yes. Dude, the oh man, friggin' Damien, D Blake makes slapped a Jada head on that big blue Cosmic Legion dude. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that so bad. I'm like, I don't have space for that. Like, there might be 2 more robots.
Yeah.
Man, go buy stuff from Josh Brown Customs. He makes really cool shit, and his prints are like impeccable.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, no, the fact that the jaw is articulated on this, I'm just like,
dude,
whatever. Ridiculous.
My number one is something. It's the only toy I've ever sold and regretted, and it took 7 years, 6 years now 7 years to get back into the collection. And again, one of those things, I don't have many saved searches on eBay. I try really hard not to do that because it makes going, hey, really easily.
It's tempting, yeah.
But this is the original Mondo Iron Giant.
Ooh, wow,
which
nice.
It still talks. It still lights up. I did put new batteries, but like fully articulated fingers. They've done 2 other versions since, and they're cool, but they're smaller. It's the Iron Giant. Like, this is, I mean, for scale, it's a sizable
pretty close.
piece.
Yep.
He lives on. I actually have. I don't remember who made it. Some company on Amazon recast a bunch of those like Mark's cliff sides, like that used to come with like
yeah, right.
Yep. I have one of those, and he stands on it reaching for the stars.
That's good.
He lives on my desk, but just like the fact that that's the speaker right there, and like everything is so hidden, and like even his buttons, like they're
incorporated into the design. Oh, that's great. Yep.
And fully articulated jaw and stuff.
I think I have the Diamond Select, rest in peace, metallic version, which is great, and that's good for my shelf. I don't feel like I really need a giant one, but I like having that character represented.
That was one of the press the button. That was one of those that like Iron Giant was a huge influence on me, like creatively. So it was just like in my head, again, the old toys came out. There was that super giant one that I don't even remember who, Spin Masters, maybe. I don't remember who made those toys, but there was like that, then nothing. And then there was this, and then like Diamond. I think Revoltech did one too, and like a couple other companies did them. But like, I don't know, it always felt like it needed a bigger presence. Like it felt like a heftier, like a bigger like character. Funny thing,
plus just the nature of the character, like you go too small with it, and he's like Jack Skellington, those limbs get too skinny, and it just doesn't feel durable anymore.
Fortnite says, which button makes him say I am Groot? The fun thing about that is it also oh no, why did I just blank on his name? It has the kid. Why can't I think of his name? But he's sitting, so you can have him going like this with him in his palm. And I don't know, that's so cool. But again, it's a toy. Oh, Trendmasters did them. Thank you, Mitch. Hogarth. Thank you, Mitch.
Hogarth,
so that was one of those figures I never thought I'd see. Just such a blast from the past, which I think is a pretty good segue to dive into kind of some of the toy talk that we were talking about earlier. Really cool retro toy that's come to life after 41 years.
It's been a while.
But, I'll pop this up here, but it is the Mighty Orbots Deluxe, combining 12-inch figure, 1985 edition. But Dan, you want to run through it, man?
Yeah. Real quick primer for those who don't know, Mighty Orbots was a cartoon that was on ABC in 1984. It was animated by TMS Animation. It was created by ABC, the network, TMS Animation, and Intermedia, which was Fred Silverman's production company. And the idea was basically, it's 1984. We are right in the heart of the robot craze. Transformers is on TV. Transformers are on the shelves. GoBots is on TV. GoBots are on the shelves. RoboForce, Voltron, like all this stuff is out there. And ABC is like, hey, we want our own robot show. We want an original thing. Can we have a thing? And Intermedia, Fred Silverman, they're like, yeah, we're working with TMS. Let's get this done. And so they create this show called Mighty Orbots, which has we did our history of video a couple years ago, and then we did an updated version earlier this year. And one of the jokes I make in there is that Mighty Orbots is both singular and plural. This group of characters are the Mighty Orbots, but the combined form, the giant robot, is also called Mighty Orbots, plural. Yeah. So it's kind of weird. But so what happens is it's a Saturday morning cartoon on ABC. It runs its full season of 13 episodes, and it's up against juggernauts like the Smurfs and the first season of Muppet Babies. And ABC's kind of looking at their numbers and is like, hey, you know what? It's actually a really good performing show for us. It's doing top-notch ratings. It was one of the best performers on ABC at the time. A couple of hiccups in there. They did get a lawsuit thrown at them by Tonka, who said that they felt like Orbots was a little too close to GoBots, and they were concerned about market confusion. Ultimately, that didn't actually factor into the cancellation of the animated series. What factored into the cancellation of the animated series is that one hand didn't know what the other hand was doing at the executive level at ABC. And they had basically overbought they're trying to find the next big thing to compete against Smurfs and Muppet Babies and all this stuff. And so they had overbought shows for the 1985 season. So they didn't have enough slots for all the programming that they had. And so Mighty Orbots got kicked to the curb and replaced by the Ewoks and Droids hour of cartoons, So, but they had been talking to Mattel, and Mattel had worked up a prototype of this assembled, Voltron style figure. And that appeared in the 1985 preview catalog for Mattel. The picture you're looking at right here is a sort of recreation of that page of that catalog, but this is using the actual one from this Kickstarter. And so for 40 years, all we had was that one picture in that catalog that basically looked like this, but it was the Mattel figure. And so if you were a fan of that show, if you thought like, oh man, if I could have a toy someday, like you just sort of dreamed about that thing and what it would have been like if they'd actually released it, to shelves. And so Albert Pinello was a big fan of the show when it aired, and spent that 40 years just like the rest of us, except that he, dreaming, like just, man, someday, hopefully somebody will be able to make this toy a reality, because for all the other toys and robots and video game systems and whatever else that he owned, like this was the thing that tortured him at night, that he just wanted to have. And so for those that don't know, Albert Pinello was actually the Xbox lead at Microsoft from 2000 to 2018. He was director of programming, director of Xbox, whatever it was. So, he had some industry influence. He had some, he was always a pop culture guy, collector. And he left Xbox and he left Microsoft in 2018, which ironically, and these two things aren't connected, that's when I started working at Microsoft, was 2018. Oh, really? I was there for 2.5 years. Yeah. Just in sales. But so he, never stopped collecting, never stopped dreaming about Mighty Orbots. And in 2023, he, totally. In 2023, he founded Machine Dream Toys, which was his own toy company with one mission. And that was to make this thing a reality. If nobody else was going to do it, he was going to do it. He acquired the license for Mighty Orbots. This is an officially licensed thing. And in 2024, he connected with Ramen Toys, Ace. And they spent a year and a half developing this thing, trying to make it as retro feeling. Albert basically wanted you to get this thing in your hands and feel like somebody had traveled in time and brought it back. Like,
I was gonna say, it feels like something you would find in like from the 90s, like you'd find in your cousin's bedroom on a random bookshelf.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
Yep,
it has
absolutely.
that
He,
color scheme too.
he wants that new old stock. There was a warehouse find. It turns out it actually was produced and they buried them in Arizona. You know, like that's the experience he wants. He wants this thing to be as 1985 legit as it can possibly be. There are some upgrades. There are some, sort of aesthetic and engineering changes because Mattel never actually produced this thing, so they never had to solve some of these problems. So
tool storage.
Yep. So he and Ace and the team at Ramen Toys, put in the work, the time, the money, the effort to make all of these things actually functional. There's going to be die-cast parts, full functionality, rocket firing fists. The little beam car stores in the chest. There's an Ono. If you're familiar with the characters, Ono is one of the mighty Orbots, but she's not actually one of the transformable robots that becomes part of the giant mighty Orbots. She is one of the, she sort of pilots in the beam car when the whole thing turns into the giant mighty Orbots. So they spent the time, they did all the development, and the Kickstarter started, I think about, what are we looking at, 23 days ago?
Yeah, I think so.
We're down to 7 days left. I've seen the comments. People have been, oh man, if only it was more modern, if only it had more articulation, if only it had only this, if only this. Hey, look, his dream from day one was to get that thing as it would have existed in 1985, and that's the real mission. For those that don't know, he did have cancer, and he did pass away 5 days ago. Got the campaign live. If you scroll, there should be a picture there of him at Comic-Con holding the grayscale prototype. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So that's Albert, and that it unfortunately this is Ace's hotel room at Comic-Con, and I was in that room like an hour later. Unfortunately, Albert and I just kind of missed each other. But I was invited over to come take a look at the grayscale prototypes there and to play with them and mess with them and combine it and do all that. And all the features were working. Everything was ready to go. They had a couple little minor tweaks that they still needed to make with the molds. But it makes me happy that even though he is not going to be able to see the end of the campaign, he was able to at least get that thing in his hands and have that sort of time to spend with the actual physical thing that he had made into a reality, just, through sheer will of force, he just, so the campaign is still ongoing. We've got 7 days left. As of Saturday morning is when I found out that he had passed. I jumped into this as quickly as I could. He had contacted me back in June of 2025 to ask if Secret Galaxy could collaborate on this project and help promote it and whatever. He had obviously seen our videos. At the time, we had just recently done our updated version of that video. And so he reached out figuring that, who better to sort of help promote this thing than one of the only other people who knows what it is.
Well, and there's still a week left. And I mean, we've seen a bunch of indie toy projects go way further with way quicker.
Here's the thing. As of Saturday, before we went live, I live streamed Saturday night. It's still up, obviously, on our channel if you want to go check it out at some point. I brought in Michael Canova, Ace from Ramen Toys, and Gary Gorzak. So Michael Canova he's been running the website. He's been sort of doing the back end Kickstarter stuff for Albert. Gary G is the box artist. If you see the t-shirt he did that painting, that's his artwork there. He's done a ton of other artwork around the industry. I had a mask shirt on the other day that he had done. And then obviously Ace's production. So there you go. So the whole team is still the team, right? The only thing that changed is Albert's no longer there. And he was the dreamer, but the rest of this is all the same team that's executing this project. And I basically just jumped in and said, I'm going to promote this as best I can. So the campaign still needed $42,000 as of Saturday night. And between Saturday night and today, we are down to only needing $28,000. So it is moving fast. And I truly believe we can get this done for him. If this is a thing that doesn't interest you, if you're not into the giant robots, if you're not into this particular giant robot, there's a $20 tier there. You can get Ono. You can get a physical reward out of this campaign for $20. And so, we're asking people, even if you don't think you're in for the giant robot, go in for the Ono figure. Get something in there. It's a way that you can support this campaign.
Make it happen.
And everybody on the team here, Mike, myself, Ace, Gary, really want to get this done for his family, for his wife, for his daughter, and for his legacy, to let him be a part of the Mighty Orbots saga. You know, this story can close out with that toy becoming a reality because the community got behind Albert's dream to make this thing real. And I think that's a pretty special project.
Hell yeah. I just popped up this image because I love the fact that this looks like a kid in front of his favorite drawing. I'm just like, that's me.
I drew that. Yeah.
That's me. I did this. I am the
Exactly.
Mighty Orbots.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But you know, it's like I don't know. A lot of people are familiar with Voltron, right? Like everybody,
Yeah.
almost everybody has had some kind of lion bot, you know, Voltron figure.
Yeah.
And those have quite a bit of functionality, right? When you combine him as Voltron, he doesn't really have a lot of articulation, especially the vintage styled ones. He's got some heft because there's die cast in it. This is going to have some die cast in it, but it's not really posable. And so what I've been stressing to people is that the gimmick with this toy, especially back then, wasn't in the posability.
Sorry.
It was in the combinability, right?
Yeah.
Like it was just the ability to put that giant guy together. If you had Puzzler, the GoBot, like he didn't have any articulation. The thing would barely hold together.
Yeah.
You know, I don't, there's one out there that I don't know if anybody knows about this. I'm going to drop a name on you. It's called Baxinger. Baxinger, and instead of 5 lions, it was 5 motorcycles, like 5 space motorcycles, and they had absolutely no posability with. Yeah, even the Megazord had no posability.
Oh yeah.
It was just about the putting it together and the taking it apart. And so these individual robots do have some functionality. They can do some stuff. Their heads turn, their arms move, their fists shoot off. But it's really all about putting that giant robot together and having just that massive thing. Like you were just saying with the Eva, you know, it's like, it's this massive scale thing that's sitting on your shelf, towering over all the other toys. And there's even an evil version. If you want to go in for 2, there's the good guy version and the bad guy version. That's the bad guy version right there. Tobor.
I was going to say, in typical 80s fashion, look out. He's blue.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think that's freaking awesome. And obviously, you know, everybody knows Ace's production quality. I mean, Ramen Toys makes good shit. I mean, like, I don't know how I feel bad saying makes good shit. They make really good product. They make really good toys.
Yeah.
Like it is one of those things of I've held Ramen Toys, definitely not mask toys as compared to new mask toys. And you know what? I'd go with Ramen.
Which one is better? Yeah.
Like, but yeah, no, this is such a cool campaign. I had heard about it. I saw your video, or rather your stream, and I thought it was so damn cool. Honestly, I will totally admit, over the holidays, I totally lost track of it. And I definitely think I'm gonna at least grab Ono, just because
it's a tough time of year. And I've seen, you know, people saying, especially before Christmas, like, oh man, if this was happening in like March, if this was happening in, you know, July, you know, why at Christmas time? And it's like, well, he knew he was on a short timeline, and he wanted to get this campaign out as quickly as possible, as soon as possible. And you know, the good news is we are past Christmas, and some of us might be staring down some tax return money or something, you know. There has been some questions about, like, you know, Kickstarter has like a sort of delayed payment kind of payment option, whatever. It's not something you can set up during the campaign. You had to make that decision beforehand, and it takes another 12 weeks for that money to come through. So they couldn't actually start production when the campaign ended. I asked Ace straight up, like, I was trying to dance around it. I wasn't trying to put him on the spot and say, like, you know, when is this thing going to deliver? But Ace straight up said, they're going to go as soon as it's funded, they're in production, and you'll have it in your hands within a year. Which is something that very, very few Kickstarters can promise.
Yeah. Well, and again, it goes back to, you know, Ace can do it. Like, that's the crazy stuff about it.
They've already done all the work. All the work is done. You know, Albert put a lot of his own money into it to get it to this point, and it's really just about, you know, getting the enough of that, you know, community funding in to get it into production. That's all that's left. And at this point, we're really, really close.
Well, and I linked it in the chat. I also linked it in the video description, so it's up there. Go check it out. If you dig vintage toys, if you dig giant robots, go check it out. And like, you know, like Dan brought up, there's a really cool, easy way, a really cheap way to also move the needle too, by just supporting a cool campaign for the community and for
The t-shirts and the prints are add-ons, so
Mhm.
there's no stretch goals on any of this. Everything is available. Everything is, Albert was very concerned about like the goal here is this robot. It's not about anything else, just getting this one robot done. So $20 gets you the Ono, add a t-shirt, add a print. Now you're at like, I can't remember what the prices are, but now you're
Yeah.
probably at like $100 or something. But that's a way that you can, support it and move that needle without necessarily going in for the full robot price.
Yeah.
But also keep in mind, there is a global audience for this. This show and robots like this were a big deal overseas. I don't know how much of this campaign has actually been able to reach that market yet. So there's very likely to be a secondary market for this thing after the campaign ends and the rest of the world starts to realize that this thing exists now.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to just dump this into. I'm in a bunch of giant Machinder groups.
Please
'Cause
do, please do.
yeah, like see if it gets any traction. Because no, it again a toy that you see and go, that's a cool toy. Like that's just neat.
Hey, check out the show. All 13 episodes are on YouTube in high resolution. They look great. It's TMS animation. It's full animation. It is sickly animated. It's so good. Go watch all 13 episodes. It's not going to take you long. They're like 22 minutes a piece. It's the Mighty Orbots Official, I think, is the YouTube channel.
They are classic 80s cartoons, but I mean that is some vintagey goodness right there.
Chunky boys, yeah,
right.
And girls. Three boys, two girls.
I also love Bort.
Yes. Well, so all their names except for Crunch can be taken out of the word robot. Boo, Bo, Tor, Bort.
I love Bort.
Yeah. Yes. My son's name is also Bort. I stole that joke from Mike Case.
That's fair. But yeah, no, go check it out for sure. Maybe if it's done well, it'll end next Monday.
Tuesday. It ends Tuesday the 13th at 12 p.m.
Okay. Well, maybe I do a countdown. That'd be fun. Maybe watch along. That'd be fun.
Perhaps.
But oh shit, there we go. Mitch just dropped
perfect. Thank you.
The Mighty Orbots Official right there. So make sure to check that out. So yeah, if you got the chance, go back. Like I've said with Extra Life for years, if you can back it, back it. If you can't, share it. It doesn't hurt nothing. All it's doing is helping the greater good.
Yeah.
Boo bop. But yeah, man, I can't believe we already flew through the hour. But is there anything else you want to plug, man? Is there anything else you want to talk about on the Mighty Orbots or?
Not really. I appreciate you letting me come on and plug that for a bit. We've been trying to sync schedules for a while now.
Oh yeah.
So it's good just to chat regardless of what's going on.
Joys of life, talking giant robots. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I still stand by it. We gotta do up an indie comics stream sometime too. I think
absolutely. Greg and I have been talking a lot about sort of our plans for 2026 and what things look like, and as I said at the top of the show, they're approaching 50. It's like, man, I have all these projects, all these ideas, all these stories, all these characters. I have a whole file cabinet over here, a physical file cabinet.
Yep.
That's just full of drawings and sketches and outlines and like one sentence, like zombie police in the old west, like whatever. Like don't steal that. That's my idea.
TM Secret Galaxy.
And at a certain point you just start going like, wait, am I actually going to do any of this stuff, or am I just going to talk about doing it? And so 2026 we're really trying to we're both trying to become project managers and say, I don't think I have the time in my schedule to throw down a 24-page comic book, much less 200 pages that it's going to take to tell this story. But what I can do is project manage it and hire another artist to draw that thing. So we're gonna be looking into a lot of that kind of stuff this year.
To that extent, just stay on after we end the stream. I'll share something with you.
Awesome.
I popped because sorry, wrestling term. I got excited about the fact that this was sent to the PO box. It was a copy of a comic book scripting book that my scripting professor Mark Neese from college wrote, and there is the very first treatment of Wonder Boy, in it for my freshman year in
Oh,
college.
nice.
And he put it in there as a horrible example. And he literally says, pretty bad, right? Don't worry, he got better. And
hey, you got to
it's
start somewhere. Yeah.
oh, dude, it's one of my favorite things because that's like I always keep. There's a couple things around the studio that live to just kind of go, hey man, you've come a long way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I had one of my college professors, I graduated with a degree in art, and one of my college professors' whole thing was he would always throw his old stuff away. He wouldn't keep anything. And
Mhm.
and his mindset behind that was I don't want to get influenced by the old stuff. I want to keep growing, keep progressing. I always felt, and you know, maybe he was a better artist, maybe he was more successful than me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was nice to see how much I had improved and could gauge where I had been and, you know, and, you know, keep some of that cringe around,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like you got to get through that to figure out what your voice is and what you want to do, what you like doing, what you don't like doing, and what you actually need to work on and improve on. And that goes for anything. That's, you know, when people are like, oh, how do I do YouTube? How do I get better at writing? How do I get better at presenting? How do I get better at, you know, editing? And it's like, just do it
Do
more,
it. Yeah.
do it more. However much you're doing it right now, do it more.
That has become my favorite thing at shows is because I'll slap my display up, like, you know, the table will be set up, takes me about 15, 20 minutes tops. And people are like, how the fuck do you do that? I'm like, I have taken this thing apart
Yeah.
and put it back together so many times.
Yeah.
And like on my phone, I have saved pictures of my racks that I have set up because I'm like, oh yeah, this goes like this, and that's where the price sheet goes. And I have them saved in my favorites because it's my cheat sheet of like, okay, cool. I know exactly where stuff goes. And I mean, it's again, it's that fun thing of learning from doing. Like one of my favorite accomplishments means nothing to most people, but Samir and I got to do the fall Comic-Con poster for the show that's at the local fairgrounds, which is a show I've been going to since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have one of the posters from the event, like movie-sized posters that's hanging right over there that lives out there. And it's like, it's such a huge accomplishment for me. For everybody else, it's like, cool, like they used your art. It's like, yeah, they did.
They sure did. Yeah.
Anyways, on that note, we'll have to continue this on another stream. But dude, plug. Tell
Secret Galaxy. It's every Thursday, 5:00. There's a lot more going on our Patreon, so definitely head over there and check that out. Patreon.com/toygalaxy. We're definitely doing more over there than we ever have. There's, you know, exclusive member video every month. And probably some more surprises coming up in the near future. We do a monthly podcast over there, all kinds of things. And yeah, Discord, whatever else. But mainly just, you know, Secret Galaxy. Everywhere.
Also, shout out about the Toy Geeks podcast. That like,
well, we should be back on track next week. In fact, normally we record Monday nights at 10 o'clock. So
oh shit. My bad.
I was like, Jay, I gotta hop on with Dave. I'm so sorry. So you bumped. If anybody wants to hear Toy Geeks, it's Dave's fault.
My bad.
Toy Geeks this week.
My bad. Just saying, you get to Ninja Turtles, you give me a holler. You know where to find me. You can find me right here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Mondays, Let's Talk Toys. Tuesdays, Chop and Shop. Wednesdays, Gripping and Ripping. Thursdays for Riffin. Tony takes that over. You can find me Instagram, the Dave Wheeler, everywhere else at Dave Wonder. And yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Extra Life is technically live right now. I'm trying to get the custom URL back up. We ended up raising $14,321 for 2025 for children's cancer treatment and research through Extra Life. That friggin' rules. Thank you, COJ, for hanging out, being a part of the conversation. Dan, thank you for hanging out and being obviously having the conversation. I'm gonna get out of here. I still need to make a new outro. So until next time, folks, be good, be kind. Much love from Minnesota. Good night. And here's a spooky outro.
Alter Clark, we don't know yet.
Oh yeah. Wait, what?
You're good.
Oh. Stay tuned. Subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. Toy Geeks podcast. It's really good. Okay, bye.